Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's take a walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer should be a treat, could be a treat, not sure. This is Grand Teton Brewing's Double Vision, which is a lager aged in bourbon barrels. They're calling it a Doppelbock. This is the brewer's series of this. This was sent to me by Sam. So Sam, thanks a bunch. I do appreciate it, sir. I don't buy a lot of lagers. I do review some lagers that are sent to me, some Doppelbocks that are sent to me. That's not my typical choice when I go to the beer store. But this one is a bourbon barrel aged version. I'm not sure. I may have had a bourbon barrel aged Doppelbock before, but this does not say Doppelbock on the label anywhere. It just says Double Vision, a lager aged in bourbon barrels, and it has 2015 on here. This is an 11%er. That is a big lager. And when they put them in the bourbon barrels, a lot of times the ABV goes up because of the bourbon that's been in there before. It adds a little bit to the beer as far as taste, aroma, and ABV a lot of times, especially if it's not had beer in it before. This is a 2015. I don't know when in 2015 this was done, when it was taken out and put in the bottle, or when it was brewed, and how long it was left in the bourbon barrels. So I'm just saying, it's 2015, that's what's on the label. This is 2017. It's 2 years old in the bottle. So however long they left it, if they brewed it in 2014 and left it in there 3, 6, 8, 12 months, I don't know. So I'm just checking that out. It's a 2015. It's got it written on the label here. And this one says they only produced 332 cases of this. Traditional German style Doppelbock, aged 8 months in bourbon barrels. So there we go. So if they put it in January, it was brewed in sometime in 2014. If they put it in the bottle in December, it was brewed in the earlier part of 2015. They've got 2015 on the label, so I'm just going by that. I don't know when in 2015 it was brewed or bottled. So I'm just saying it's 2 years. It's at least 2 years in the bottle, because this is October. That would be a safe assumption, I would think. But anyway, it was I brewed once a beer. So I guess in 2015 was the only year that they'd done this. So I do appreciate Sam spending his hard-earned money on it and picking it up and shipping it to me for me to try and review for you guys. I don't buy a lot of lagers. I don't, guys. I drank those beers for years and years and years and years, more years than I care to remember. So I don't buy a lot of lagers anymore, but I do review them when my subscribers send them to me, like Sam has done here. So I have no commercial notes here on Beer Advocate, and Big Bear says a bready aroma with a hint of smoke. So let's get the cap off of this bad boy and see what we got here. Final beer of the evening for me is for 11%er. I usually don't finish up with a lager. I usually finish up with some kind of imperial whatever, barley wine, stout, porter. Nice little hiss. And typically on the lagers I use my lager glass, but since this is bourbon barrel aged, I brought out the solid beer glass. I want to smell those aromas and see if I'm getting some bourbon. While I pour this, I'll tell you the cuisine is German. Chooses a buttery, brie, good Havarti, Swiss, earthy Camembert Fontina, It goes well with your chocolate dishes, according to what they're saying here on Beer Advocate, and the meat is game. Glass wire Pilsner, glass, Poco mug side down. Says here you can sell it for a long period of time. Then 11%er, I would think so too. This must be a smaller bottle. 11.2 fluid ounces, so it's not even a 12-ounce bottle. I can tell by looking at the glass. Didn't pour hardly any head on that easy pour. Over into the light, I'm not getting any at all. It is kind of dark for a lager. Might be a slight hint of some red ruby mahogany color on the thin part of the glass at the bottom. Let's give it to the nose. I am getting some bourbon barrel. Does not smell like a lager glass. I'm not getting any of that grassy grainy might have it in the taste. I'm getting bourbon, rich roasted malt, toffee, molasses, maybe a little bit of dark fruit in there, and I'm thinking that's probably going to come out a little more as we let it warm up to room temperature, which I will do, and I always do. It smells pretty good for a lager. I'm impressed. I'm not sure I've had a bourbon barrel lager before. I may have. Especially in a doppelbock. Smells good. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Sam. That's pretty tasty. For a dark lager, doppelbock, bourbon barrel aged. Very nice aroma. I am getting some hints of some raisins or plums. The bourbon is pretty tasty. I'm impressed with this. But it does have a very nice character. So a lot different than your typical lager is going to have with that grassy, grainy, thin, watery taste. This does not taste like that at all. Very well done beer. Well, let's right out of the fridge. Let's let it warm up and let it come up to room temperature and let her taste it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got a little bit left here. I've been sipping on it probably about 20, 25, 30 minutes or so. Very tasty beer. The other half loved it. I thought it was a very tasty beer also. I'm not sure I've had a bourbon barrel aged lager before. I may have had a bourbon barrel doppelbock. There is a slight difference between those two styles. Going over doppelbocks, you know, these beers with goats on the label are relatively strong German lagers. Doppelbocks, as the name might suggest, are typically even stronger and contain enough malty goodness that they've been considered a meal in a glass for centuries. Generally, they have a very full body flavor and are darker than their Bock brothers and sisters with a higher level of alcohol too. They range in color from dark amber to nearly black, and dark versions often have a slight chocolate or roasted characteristics. So very, very tasty, guys. If I had to drink a lager, this would be the one here. I mean, no doubt about it, especially since it's been done in a bourbon barrel. I love those bourbon notes, whether it's a lager or an ale, or a porter or a stout or barley wine. I like those bourbon note characteristics. I don't drink bourbon anymore, so the only bourbon I get is from the beers that's been done in bourbon barrels. So I found this very, very enjoyable. Probably would make my top 10 list, if not top 5. Very nice aroma. Wow. I enjoyed this final chug. A little bit different than what you're going to get from one of those three I just mentioned. Bourbon barrel barley wine or a bourbon barrel porter or stout. Different yeast used in there, fermented at different temperatures. but still very tasty. I enjoyed this, guys. To me, I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give this a 95, right straight down the middle. Very, very tasty. Probably, like I said, made my top 10, if not top 5 list for a lager that's been done in bourbon barrels. So let's run over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 4.32. As far as I'm concerned, that's in their A category, A minus to A category 2. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.06. That's in their A minus to A category also. So it's unanimous. It's an A minus to A beer. Very tasty. And being 2015 on top of that, a couple years old already, selling very well. Nice roasted malt notes. The bourbon is there. Hints of some black molasses, some dark fruit. Maybe even get a hint of some licorice in there, or tobacco. Very nice, very enjoyable. Great final beer of the evening for me, which it is. So if you've had this one from Grand Teton Brewing, this is the Bourbon Barrel Aged Vision Lager, a Doppelbock. So let me know if you've had it, guys. Until we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.